is Richard Thorndike with BS News for this Friday, the 18th of February 2011, and away we go. Dateline, the Badger State. In Wisconsin, Democratic legislators have fled to Illinois to thwart a plan to crush Wisconsin's Public Employees Union under the pretense of attacking non-existent budget problems. Meanwhile, the state of Illinois is now trying to ease its own budget problems by making the state a travel destination for fugitive lawmakers. Dateline a little farther south in the Too Much Sun state. This week, Florida Governor Rick Scott rejected $2.4 billion in federal money for a high-speed rail line from Tampa to Orlando. The governor said, hey, if people want to go from Tampa to Orlando, they can always hop on I-4 behind an 80-year-old driving 40 miles an hour in the left lane. Just like always. Dateline!
Shall we play a game?
This week, an IBM computer called Watson trounced its human competition on the game show Jeopardy! This marks the first time Jeopardy has had a winner who wasn't beaten up a lot in junior high school. Dateline, Chrome Dome. Researchers say they've discovered a chemical compound that cures baldness in mice. It hasn't been tested on human beings yet, but if it works for rats, that's good enough for Karl Rhodes. And now exclusive Randi Rhodes show audio of Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker responding to Madison protests. Finally, Dateline, the Milky Way. Scientists have announced they have evidence of an undiscovered planet hundreds of times farther away than Pluto. The new planet was described as a mass of hot gas way, way out there, causing Fox News to offer it its own show. We're closing in to beer o'clock. I'm Richard Thorndike, BS News. Have a great weekend. Tremendous.
Oh, yeah. You've now awakened the sleeping giant. The very proud middle class is now wide awake in dreamland. They understand that the conservatives are going after them, that this is a huge race to the bottom to see how cheap we can get labor. How cheap can we make it? A big, giant Uber race to the bottom, just so that we can supply the oligarchs, the autocrats, the multinational corporations with cheap labor on top of all of their tax breaks, tax loopholes, carried interest, deferred payments, this accelerated depreciation, everything that's written into the tax code on their behest. Yes, they have the money to go out and hire people to negotiate with the government. They're called lobbyists. And they go and they visit your member and they visit your senator and they make these deals on behalf of their clients who can afford those services. And you who need numbers in order to be powerful, there's power in numbers. That's the only place that middle-class people get power, is in numbers. And they want to take away our ability to organize. I got things organized, Karen. Karen, I got things organized. Organization is somehow now feared because they know that there's power in numbers, and they know that the only thing that a middle class has is numbers. They understand that people are willing to die for their right to negotiate a fair wage. It has happened, and safe work environment, and no child labor, and all these things that we have a very, very long history of doing in this country. A long history of doing. They want it undone. They want it all undone so that they could hand you over as a slave, as an indentured servant, as a serf.